Recording. All right. Welcome everyone to another 119 release team meeting. Today is Thursday, August 6th. I'm Taylor Dolezal, your release lead, and very happy to be here today. It's Thursday. We're almost at Friday. This is a Kubernetes meeting, which abides by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which simplifies down to please be excellent to one another. Again, we don't think anyone here will have a problem with that. Let's get things kicked off with enhancements today. Navarun.
Hey everyone, hi. So enhancements is green. We're tracking 34 enhancements in total, 9 graduating to alpha, 15 graduating to stable, and 15 enhancements graduating to beta, and 10 enhancements graduating to stable. Sorry for the mess up on-call week.
No worries, totally understand.
Yep. Any questions or concerns for enhancements?
Awesome. Thank you, Navarun.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Let's move on to CI Signal with Dan.
Hey folks, we're yellow today. Two notable events. I mentioned one of them yesterday. The kube control SKU tests are using the wrong version markers. I have some PR open to address that by updating the flags passed from the build jobs, which publish and update those version markers. So I'm just waiting for reviews on those. It should work. Like the idea is that the existing flags that are being passed would work, yet apparently push build is ignoring them. So as opposed to trying to figure out why that's happening, I just went with using the new flags. So we'll see if that's the decided route, or we need to go back and fix that or maybe follow up with that. But hopefully we'll get that addressed today. Other issue mentioned here is we'd like for the pod info JSON file to also be published when jobs have pod scheduling timeouts, because right now it just basically reports that there's a pod scheduling timeout on the prow job, but we have no idea why. That might be why it wasn't able to be assigned to a node. So hopefully we can get some more information there. Looking at the dashboards, we are a little bit more flaky today. Most of them are things that we've seen before. Trying to think if there's anything here that's super notable. Bazel build master had 2 failures, not on pod scheduling timeouts, but on pod pending timeouts, which we don't see frequently. So going to be looking at that a little bit more. Also on kind IPv6 master parallel, there was a kube control conformance test that failed. There's been an issue open for this, but it was moved out of 1.19 to 120 because it was deemed not release blocking and it hadn't happened for a while. And it was actually open for another job originally. But since it is a conformance test, we definitely want to look at that. So considering bumping that back into 1.19, see if the CLI folks can look at that. Everything else is pretty much as it has been. One thing to note on master informing, that cap G job is still failing, and that's due to the missing Python 3 modules. Those were originally added, which broke other things, so we reverted it. But there is a PR open to add back Python 3 with the PyYAML fix, which should theoretically enable them to have that job passing again. So hopefully that PR gets merged today. I saw Dems pinged Aaron and Ben for review there this morning. And hopefully once that gets in, we can follow up with the cluster API folks. But overall, a little more flaky, but nothing too concerning here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. Any questions for CI Signal? Awesome. Thanks again, Dan. Let's move on to bug triage. If we don't have someone from bug triage on the call, we can jump back there if somebody else joins. I think it was yellow yesterday, but we can follow up with them. Let's move on to docs.
Hey everyone, we are green. No changes from yesterday. Our branch is still healthy.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
Any questions for docs? All right. Release notes with, whoops, jumped. Adolfo.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so we are currently green. I think James generated the draft when the last RC was cut. And I think next Monday we'll start editing and compiling the themes we've gotten from each C into the final document and the final edition of the final release notes document.
Fantastic. Any questions for release notes? Awesome. Thank you, Delpho. Let's move over to comms update. I didn't see Max on the call, but anyone from comms on the line? All right, no worries. Let's move on to release branch management with Sasha.
Hey, we are green and we don't have any updates since yesterday.
Fantastic. Any questions for release branch management? Awesome, awesome. Tim is not able to join us this morning. Moving on to the release lead update. Today is cherry pick deadline and test freeze. So that will be exciting. That'll be end of day Pacific. And then rolling into next week, both next week and the week following, week leading up to KubeCon and the week during KubeCon, we won't be meeting synchronously. So we'll be meeting asynchronously. Most of us are green in different sections and areas. I know there's still quite a few tests, both flakes and we've got Go 115 as one of the things we're juggling, QoS, and just a whole bunch of other things going on. If you see something, please say something so that we can address that. If there's anything that would put you in yellow or red status as we are leading up to the release on the 25th, obviously, just make sure that we know about that. We can adjust accordingly. We will resume our meetings on the 24th, which is a Monday. Proposed releases on a Tuesday, so we'll still have a check-in to make sure that everything's where we want it to be. And if we need to push out, we need to push out and make sure that everything is good. So should be good on that front. I don't have an update from SIG scalability, but no, there's still quite a few things getting worked out with those tests. And let's move into open discussion. Lori, did you want to kick that one off?
Yeah, and I just have to find the tab with the agenda. Why did I do this to myself? But I think I remember them anyway. So basically, I've added links. There's a lot of project boards I'm looking at the moment. So as you know, there's a CI policy improvements effort. So I'm just watching that space to see how those items are moving across the board. So we're done, just seeing how it goes. Then pretty much done revising the release engineering board. The revisions are temporary. We have a lot of things that are marked in progress, but haven't really had movement in a few months. So at the next release engineering meeting, I hope to just walk the board with the group and see what we might do there. And then I've also created some columns for high priority themes that we've talked about, like the Golang updates, Debian-based images, and then also for 120 looking. We wouldn't be able to start now, but it's upcoming for that cycle, KREL. And then for the release team proper, I'm gonna work on that board tomorrow and also look at SIG release board, and then take the items, make sure that the items that we talked about when we met in those prioritization sessions are in probably the SIG release board, because they're going to be longer term. So, but it will make your feedback on what is important. So like we'll have a tracking mechanism to start pulling that into a tighter workflow. And I think is that it? I think that was it. Oh, there's also the user stories that I sent out in the email the other day. The link is in the agenda. So now we have Savitha, Divya, and Max all working on the docs topic. That was hugely important for making the onboarding experience easier and contributor experience easier. So I guess they will be taking a look at that as a work package, and then on their terms and schedule, breaking that down and making movement on that. So if anybody else wants to own another user story, they're still up for grabs. But like I said yesterday, let's just focus on 2 max at a time, get them done, and then pick up the others so that we're not overstretched.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lori. Lots to untangle there for sure. A real Gordian knot of stuff to look at.
But I'm, you break it into chunks and do little bits at a time, and then there you
We'll
are.
knock this out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lori. Any questions for Lori? Awesome. Thank you, Lori. As always, if anything comes to mind that you liked, didn't like, want to improve with future releases and just commentary about 119, the retro link is live and looking for comments and more things added to that document. Other than that, I don't think I have anything other than excited for Friday. Does anyone else have any items that they want to call out? Excellent. Well, I wish you all a fantastic Thursday. To those of you on call, I wish you a lot of caffeine and hopefully a lack of alerts. Other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow, Friday. Enjoy. Talk to y'all soon. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye.
See everybody.